So this is our second piece that we will be looking at. I don't really want to say much about this piece. I think we'll leave it to discussion.
Wow, okay. Wow.
So if someone would...
Oh my God.
Okay, so if someone would like to explain what we're looking at.
Wow.
Okay, so maybe I'll start. This, it leaves you speechless.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. This piece is called A Disappointment, and at the bottom it says, "She's a black one."
It says, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, she's a black one.
Yeah, she's a black one. Damn, she's a black one. Do you want to describe what we can see in this piece?
Yeah, a man is unveiling a woman who's asleep by a tree. She had a cloth over her head and he's pulling that back to reveal. He's bright red-faced. And there's a woman behind him as well, a white woman. It's just... I don't know what to say.
It's her expression as well,
Yeah.
you know. The white woman in the back, her expression in the back, it's as if she's almost laughing at him for having, I guess he was, I don't know if this is like a brothel or whatever, the fact that he's disappointed in discovering that so if it is he was out trying to choose women or whatever, I don't know. But then as if she's in the back almost laughing at his disappointment. Or I don't know. So
it's almost like a blind date setup, you know, and they thought, oh, let's play a trick on him. And
yes, it's like a prank,
weird,
right?
Yeah.
It feels like, yes, as almost as if she's pranking him, the woman in the back.
And also that idea of a black woman being a disappointment in itself is hugely triggering.
Absolutely.
And this is like a satirical caricature, isn't it? Yeah, it's a cigarette card or where this would have been placed back in when it was made. I mean, wow. I mean, it's brightly coloured. You can see that I don't know whether she's in distress or she's drunk or she's inebriated or what's happening there. And he's like unveiling her, and you know, it tells you how to feel.
Yes.
Disappointed.
It does.
And say, damn, she's a black one. It's also like, oh, you out here to just pluck women off, and like, oh, it's like a black one. It's like, you know, like it's almost like picking fruit, and then you just, oh, damn, and you just throw, you know. Yeah, this is absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. And you know what's sad is that she's wearing a really beautiful dress.
So I was just looking at that.
Look at her hat, you know, with all the frills and the colors and the ribbons. It's really beautiful, you know.
But it also speaks of the relationship between Western beauty standards, doesn't it? And how we're seen, how we're depicted. To this day, I strongly feel that this is almost an overt message, yes, but it's felt by so many people today as well.
Yeah. You can look your best and you're still not.
And you're still not.
Still not good enough.
Exactly that, because it's like she's dressed beautifully. Look at like her shoes and has, you know, the cross ribbon and everything like that, and it's still not good enough.
It's that sense of never being enough in the eyes of some.
Exactly.
Because it's not a cheap dress that she's wearing.
No.
She's dressed very well, just like the white woman behind the man.
Yeah.
And it's the skin, because the unveiling of the skin, because she's got gloved hands as well.
Yeah, it's the unveiling of the skin. That's the disappointment.
And there's also the gender issue here as well, is that the man is the one that's making the, you know, assumption that this is a black woman, and then there's the white woman behind him, and he's deciding that, you know, she's a disappointment.
To read you the description from the
Please.
collection.
Yes.
So
Goodness.
it's a depiction of a European dandy lifting a handkerchief from the face of a sleeping woman dressed in European clothing and discovering she is African. His expression is one of disgust, contempt, and, as the title of the print makes clear, disappointment. The caption below reads, it says DNME, damn, she's a black one. The work was published by Thomas McLean, Haymarket, circa 1828.
And obviously, I think they are this. This is not kind of depicting like a plantation scene.
No.
That means she's in Europe.
Yeah.
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 That's what I'm getting as well.
But then it's about Victorian era, so the whole idea about racial classification, all of those things happened at that time, didn't it? So it just plays into all of that.
And you know, she's so beautifully dressed. I love like how the ruffles are coming up to her neck. You know, the cuffs. You know, there's so much detail in what she's wearing, and all of that, you know, regalia, and it's still a disappointment because purely on the fact that she's black. I think that is even more impactful, you know.
Yeah, but it's the idea of blackness, because I think even today, you know, often as black people, we're seen as black people. We're not seen as, you know, who we are.
No, we're not.
People have an idea of who you are before you even open your mouth.
Exactly.
And so, and that's what, you know, most people don't understand, that they have this image of you, which isn't you. And then when they start to get to know you, they think, oh, well, you know, you're different from, yes, exactly. Yeah, I know.
You're not allowed to have it's almost like there's a single narrative of blackness, and if you don't fit that narrative, then.
And you can see people kind of refiguring in their brain, oh, you know, they've got to let go of those preconceptions.
But you know, one of the things, like when you read like a lot of old passages like of, you know, Europeans first coming to contact with Africans, and they describe them as savages, and they're not clothed, and they're not this and whatever. And okay, if you find it that those differences make you feel uncomfortable with Africanness, okay, fine. Okay, it's different, it's new, it's not what you're used to, it's foreign, okay. But this to me is, they're both bad, but this one is especially because it's like, okay, you're taking an African and you're putting her in a European setting, in European clothing, and she's probably more well dressed than a lot of average Victorians during that time, because in the Victorian era there's so much poverty. And still, it's a disappointment. So it's not even to say it's about that maybe she's not Christian, or she's dressed like a quote-unquote savage, or she's doing all of these vulgar dances, or she's completely Europeanized, except for the fact that she's black, and that's still not good enough. It's still not even that it's not even good enough, it's a disappointment.
Yeah, and she's vulnerable because she's asleep as well.
Yeah,
that's the disturbing thing.
And the contentment on her face.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm kind of picking up. Is, you know, what does that mean? And also, when they do these satirical drawings and illustrations, they are actually trying to feed into something. They're trying to make you understand, you know, this is how the system works in a very subtle but kind of forward way.
Yeah.
You know, a picture speaks 1,000 words.
Yeah.
And this is telling you how to feel.
Yeah, and how to think, how you should be thinking, how you should feel about black people.
Exactly.
And you were saying you think it would have been a print used for cigarette cards?
It could be, yeah. And you see, and that also feeds into, you know, consumerism of that time in Victoria, when they had Victorian era, when they had, the middle class was getting bigger and bigger. And so they had to make differentiations of people, you know, whether you're good enough, whether you're at this height in hierarchy or you're low. So